on a nice little day out here, cycle ride. So got on the train at Three Bridges after cycling the 5 miles from home on the Brompton. So done that, and it's a 2-train journey. So the first one, Three Bridges to Haywards Heath, which I've just done on the Thames Link, and now I'm on the southern train from basically Haywards Heath to Durrington, which is just the western side of Worthing, and then I'm going to cycle from there through to Brighton today. So that's going to be a really lovely ride. It's a fantastic day, not too hot, but just really nice weather, and going to be looking forward to a cycle ride along the seafront by the seaside there, and it should be very pleasant indeed. So just going to relax on the train here for a while until we get to Durrington, and then I will get on the Brompton and we'll go from there. But you can just see how fantastic these Bromptons are. Let's just show you the tight space. I've got all my kit in here, it's just amazing. So there's the Brompton kind of hiding behind or under the table there, and then I've got a bag here on the table. Luckily this train's pretty empty, so I've got plenty of room. Well, if it suddenly gets crowded I'll have to have a rethink, but at the moment we all look good here. So just going to enjoy the train journey. So we made it to Durrington station. That was a bit fraught actually, because some of these small stations, it's a 12 coach train, but they tell you have to get off or make sure before getting off at one of these short platform stations that you're in the front 6 coaches or 8 coaches, whatever it might be. In the case of Durrington, you have to make sure you're in the first 6 coaches, and I was in coach 8 or 9. And if they told you that when you're about sort of 3 or 4 stops away, it wouldn't have been a problem, but they only tell you when you're about 30 seconds away from the station. So I had to have a mad dash down the corridors or down the aisles to get to the right compartment, the right coach, so that I could actually get off the train. So managed to do that, got off the train, quick cycle ride through Durrington and the western parts of Worthing, and I'm just coming into Worthing now. So I'm actually here at the seaside. Let's just turn the camera around. There you go, there's the bike there. I'm actually sitting on the ground, so the bike's actually taller than me for once, and look at that, what a lovely view that is of the sea, the beach, the pleasant looking sky as well for once. So yeah, I'm going to have a quick break here and then back on the bike, and I will carry on cycling down the coast. So greatly looking forward to it. All the sort of hassly bits of the journey are done, so it's a very nice trip from here, the western side of Worthing, through to the eastern side of Brighton, really, Camp Town, where I'll be stopping for the night there. And virtually all the journey, apart from a tiny little bit, is on cycle paths and off-road. So that's good news, and we'll be getting on with the journey in a minute. Okay, so we're just cycling a very easy ride from basically the western side of Worthing to the eastern side of Brighton. So it's probably about 10-12 mile cycle ride, not far, but I've got the little bit to get to my local station as well, plus I'm doing a bit more tomorrow, so probably end up doing about 30 miles maybe in total on this trip, approximately. But just coming into the western side of Worthing now. I did this a little while ago, about this time last year or just over a year ago, and I enjoyed the cycle ride so much. I'm doing it again. I've got slightly better equipment now. Here's the Canadian memorial I saw last time. In memory of Canadian service personnel who were here in the Second World War in this area. So yeah, that's a nice memorial, isn't it? Anyway, let's carry on down here. And hopefully you're just getting a nice idea of this pleasant little ride. You've got the sea to my right, the sort of coastal buildings to the left, which is just a load of flats. The ones just here are really, I don't know if you can quite see it in shot, sort of 60s, 70s built ones. But we'll be coming across some older ones, Regency ones even in a bit, and Victorian, etc. Here's the ice cream man coming up, but I won't be partaking at the moment. But it's just very, very pleasant. I've got the sun on my back. It's warm, but not too warm. It's not too warm to be cycling, so this is just absolutely perfect. And the following wind, which is always a bonus when you're cycling. A lot of pedestrians. It is perfectly legal for me to be cycling along here, but there's a lot of pedestrians. Some with walking sticks, so you've got to be a little bit careful. And just slalom your way in and out of them. But yeah, you've got the pretty lampposts, the noisy motorbikes, and our very small palm trees that we get here in England. Not very big at all. Right, I've got an England flag here now. And that big structure in the distance is Worthing Pier. So yeah, just sit back and enjoy a lovely ride through Worthing on a gorgeous, gorgeous summer's day here in August of 2024. Let's just see if I can move over here, get a bit more of a shot of the beach there and the sea sparkling in the sun. Only swerving around like that, of course, when it's clear of pedestrians. Oh yeah, you've got people sitting on the benches there eating their fish and chips, the fun fair. It doesn't get much more English than this, I tell you. Right, I'm going to hold fire on the talking because it's the most central bit of Worthing, the busiest, so I've got to concentrate, make sure I don't hit any pedestrians. That would not be good. Looks like they're painting up this little seaside structure here. That's good to see. Bit of maintenance going on there to spruce that up. And the next one as well, I can see a bloke painting there as well. Yeah, someone's painting up this thing here.
Oh, really?
Just having a periodic stop just to make sure everything's still recording, the sound's all good.
Connection failed or something. Yeah, I've just got to get some.
That's just so nice to see everybody out enjoying the summer, which has been a very long time in coming here in England in 2024. Even this time last month in July, certainly June, the weather was still very wet, very rainy, very windy, very chilly. Sort of not a great summer back then, but at last we seem to be getting some reasonable weather here. Right, let's see if I can get past these two. Well, we can speed up a little bit now. We're just getting to the western side of Worthing now. We've been going a couple of miles. And yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, and you have had the
So the litter pickers are out in force today around here. They're all community volunteers, so they're all doing it out of love for this part of the coast, not getting paid anything. And yeah, it's good to see there's people who care about their surroundings and want to get out there and do their bit to keep everything nice and tidy. So here's an interesting one for you. It's a bit of a shocking pink, that house, isn't it? And then there's a bright blue one there. Yeah, one thing I've noticed about seaside places, and this seems to be worldwide, it's not just England, it's Scotland, places in the USA, Canada, all over, just anywhere where you're on the coast, what they seem to do, because when you're inland, houses tend to be, on the whole, pretty bland colours, but as soon as you get onto the seaside, onto the coast, and like I say, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, all of a sudden people seem to think they've got free rein to paint their houses in all sorts of weird and wonderful colours. And also the architecture seems to go a bit more wild as well. There's a very nice Art Deco-y looking place from the 1920s or 30s coming up here. Yeah, here's this place. I'll stop in a second so you can have a proper look at it. So there we go, Onslow Court. So that would be a block of flats. It's not a fancy office building. It's just a coastal block of flats. But yeah, lovely Art Deco design, isn't it? Fantastic. So yeah, we're now out of Worthing, out of the eastern side of it. So I've got a couple of miles to go until we get to the next town, which is Shoreham. This road on the left is the busy A259, so it's an A road, it's quite a busy coastal road. I've got to go along it for a little bit, a couple of miles. Funnily enough, on that last clip there, no sooner had I stopped speaking about having to go on the A259 for a little while, that my battery died, and then I had to go only a few hundred yards on the A259. Not even a few hundred yards, probably 100 yards, couple hundred yards on the A259, and then back onto this. I've forgotten all about that actually. I thought this, on this section of the ride, I thought this path was continuous, but it had a little break there. That's a nice little cafe there, if you want a nice plate full of chips. Or a burger, I've been there before and it's not bad, but don't need any food at the moment, so we'll carry on. Oh, it's just so nice to be out on the Brompton again. It's been a long time. In fact, the last time I was out on the Brompton, I've been out on the other bike, my big bike, once or twice in the interim, but last time I was out on this was totally the opposite end of the year. It was a bright sunny day, lovely, gorgeous weather, but it was early to mid-January, so there's snow on the ground, ice, it's freezing cold, but had a nice ride though. But yeah, it's taken me from early January to mid-August pretty much before I could get out on this on the Brompton again. But yeah, I've missed it. And it's such a useful machine. Yeah, if you've got to get on the train like I did, you don't have to worry about where you're going to put your bike. As you saw earlier on, I was able to just to fold it up and stick it under the table on the train even. You know, it's just so easy compared to the bigger bike. And when you're sort of cycling along tarmacked paths, roads and things, it's perfectly comfortable. Yes, the big bike's more comfortable when you're going down off-road paths, gravel paths, dirt paths, that kind of thing. It's a lot more comfortable than this, but and you've got more gears as well. But when you're doing this kind of work, this is perfect. And yeah, I just love the versatility of these bikes. Absolutely fantastic. You can quite see it in the footage, but the coast bends around to the right, so you can actually see miles. I'm going to pull over here because there's an interesting little feature. You've got the sea over to the right, and to the left of me is like a inlet, a watery inlet with some houses on the other side. So let's just see if we can get some footage of that for you. That'd be quite a nice place to live, wouldn't it? So some of these cycle routes, you're actually on roads, but very, very quiet roads. Just a very occasional, slow-moving bit of traffic. Ah, right, I can see my national cycle route sign telling me to go left, so there we go. I don't know if you can quite see it up that way, up to my right, but it's saying to go here, down Ferry Road. Oh. Ah yeah, I remember coming down here. Oh, that's easy. Yeah, you've got to just make sure you do a left down Ferry Road. And you'll know because it's a commercial street rather than a residential one. And here's the footbridge and Shoreham on the other side. Well, it's Shoreham this side as well, actually. Let's have a look at the town from this side of the water. And that's just on the far side of the river. There is the main part of Shoreham. And then there's a houseboat there. There we go, we've got a bit of a closer up look. So that's the footbridge, which we'll be going over in a minute. And yeah, very nice to have made it to Shoreham. Yeah, So what a lovely day this is. Fantastic cycle ride. It just seems to have taken no time at all to go from the far side of Worthing to here, Shoreham. It's probably almost the same amount again to my final destination. So yeah, it's not a big ride, but just a really, really pleasant ride on a very, very pleasant, sunny, warm summer's day. Just going to go in the lowest gear here, and we're going to go right across here.
I put in a tenner and oh no, I can.
And once we get to the other side, like I say, we'll be in Shoreham proper. Now I'm going to use some vast powers of deduction and say, because we've got this greeny bluey coloured building, it's called the Fairy Inn, a pub, and the other side was Ferry Road. So I'm going to guess that before this bridge was built, there was a ferry operating there to take people across that little stretch of water. Right, so this is where I'm going to be on the AT59 again for just a little while. Probably, I think it's a couple of miles, maybe not even that. And then the whole of the rest of the ride is either paths or very, very quiet roads. So this is a bit more boring bit of the ride. You know, you just got your B&Q shop there, your Halfords, some other industrial buildings. But I'll keep the camera rolling. It might not be boring to you if you're from the other side of the world or something, and you want to see the other side of England, as it were. After all, there's plenty of these sort of places up and down the country. Oh, what's this boat doing? So this is where you make your turn, Nautilus House, and also there's a cafe called Carrots. But what I do is I kind of go across here. It's safer than trying to fight your way across the main road. So I'll just come across here. And then yeah, just down the side of Nautilus House. Oh, I thought I was out of luck there that I wasn't going to be able to get across, but I thought I had to go to the far side of the cafe, but no, I've got to go to the right of it rather than the left. And then we go across the locks. Yeah, there's the cafe in here. And there's the harbour. There's a ship there. Looks like it's picking up a load of gravel or something. But yeah, it's a proper working port, this. Oh, it looks like the lock's actually in operation at the moment. Great big lock for just a tiny little thing which doesn't look much bigger than the rowing boat. I don't know if you can quite see that through there. So we're going to go across. This is the bridge across the locks. But yeah, if you look out across there, that's a proper harbour, isn't it? With 2 locks.
No, look where you're going. Thanks.
And that is the lock over there.
Do you want to come past your little...
Okay. Cheers. Thank you.
I think...
Right. The National Cycle Route 2. Take a left there and you just cycle through this very industrial looking lot of stuff here. You've got the timber yard here. Got all sorts of stuff going on. We've got steelworks here, Barrett Steel, that place with the big arching roofs. A bit silly. Right. Right, we are just kind of coming into Hove now. The western end of Hove. And all I've got to do is get to the eastern end of Brighton. So I'm going to have a nice little stop for water in a second because I'm parched. Right, it looks like they've turned, with all these railings are, they've turned everything into a massive great building site at the moment. So my options for stopping are a bit more limited up I think I can see an empty park bench up here from our water stop. So let's stop up here. And here we are on the bowls green. Well, not on it. That would be frowned upon. Right. Let's have some water. Right, nice bit of waterhead there. So we're just going to carry on along here. And along we go into Hove. So, as we make our way into Hove, just sit back and enjoy the ride. There's some very interesting buildings, especially coming up in a minute on the left. Some sea on the right, and there's always plenty going on as you cycle through here. It really is an entertaining ride. But before we go too much further, let's just take a look at the sea, shall we? Nice to see people enjoying the beach and the sea in the summer, isn't it? Because the beach enjoyment season is all too short here in England and the UK, sadly. But luckily we're at the peak of it at the moment. And yeah, it's nice warm weather, people on the beach just enjoying themselves. Very nice to see.
Disrupted a bit and now it's had a knock-on effect.
Right, you just have to go off-road for a second. On the road for a second, I mean. We'll just stop here and look at some of this architecture. That is English seaside architecture from about 100, 150 years ago. Now, I don't know how on earth architects from about 50, 60 years ago, which would have been around the time those flats there were built, how they thought that design could compete in any way, shape or form to those there. I mean, honestly, what were they thinking? Why didn't they at least try a little bit to keep in keeping with those buildings there? Oh well, I guess we'll never know, will we? Well, not lots of me anyway. You might do if you're an architect. And there we have Regency Square. All these these cream coloured Regency buildings go down there, all the way up there, all the way up the hill there, then all the way back down that side and all the way along there. So as you cycle through here, you'll see some of these lampposts and things that we're going past now. They're just a silver colour. That means you're still in Hove. But as soon as you get into Brighton, the street furniture turns into this turquoisey blue colour. In fact, I can see the first one up here. We've just got 2 more lampposts now. 1 more once we've gone past this one now. There's the last of the Hove lampposts, and there's the first Brighton. And like you can see, everything's this sort of slightly strange coloured turquoisey, bluey colour. I say strange, it's pleasant enough, I suppose. And welcome to Brighton. There's the i360 ride. That's spectacular if you're ever here. I think I saw it costs about £18, £20 per person to go on that. So quite expensive if there's 4 of you, but there's only 1 or 2 of you, I suppose, not too bad. And it does last quite a long time. I think it takes a good 15-20 minutes to go up, and then you stay at the top for about 5-10 minutes, and then it takes another 15-20 minutes to come down. So it does last a fairly long time. So we saw that from miles away, that 360i, and now we're going past it. This is worth stopping at, just to see the big hotels. The Metropole first of all, and then the Grand, the cream coloured one. Which I stayed in actually, about 6 months ago. I had a couple of nights in the Grand. Got a really good kind of winter deal on it. So it was only about the same amount of money for 2 nights as what you'd often pay for just a simple B&B like I'm staying in tonight. And it's a great big posh hotel. But I would say with the Grand, it's all very nice in there, but it's probably a couple of years past a refurb, I'd say. A few years past a refurb. They could do with going in and replacing all the carpets and freshening up the rooms and things like that. But that's not to say it's not worth going to, especially if you can get it for a bargain price like we did. Really into it. There's plenty of people down there on the beach today, loads and loads of them. So as you cycle down this bit, you've got to have your wits about you. Well, you've got these sort of people who think you've got a wide enough walkway, and yet they're walking down the cycle bit, so you've got to watch out for people like that. just take it slow and easy as you come along this bit, especially if you're on an electric bike. Let's go across here. So this is the entrance to the pier. Unfortunately, you've got to pay £1 to go on there, which they seem to do that in fits and starts. I mean, many years ago when I was a kid, it was always free. And then, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago, they had a spate where they decided they'd start charging admission. And then it went free again. And it's free, to be fair, for quite a long time. And then at some point in the last year or so, they've decided to make it sort of, you have to pay again, which is disappointing, you know, really. Right, so we've gone past the pier and things will get a bit quieter as we go down here. I'm actually just up to my left. There's an incline. Up there somewhere is my B&B for the night. I'm probably just about going past it now. But in the meantime, just enjoy the ride along Brighton seafront in the summer. There's some parking down here, and even though, well, this is the height of the holiday season, you know, you're very unlikely to get a parking space down here, and if you're coming down here on a bank holiday weekend, well, you've got more chance of winning the lottery, to be honest with you, than you have of getting a parking space along here or anywhere in Brighton. Really, you're better off really coming on the train if you possibly can. Even if you just drive to the outskirts of Brighton and then jump on a train at Preston Park, and then you can jump on a train there and go in, then you're only walking distance down to here. You've got all the coaches parking along here. One from Denmark there. They've come a long way, haven't they, to see sunny old Brighton. I always think that must be a nice job, being a holiday coach driver. You know, you're driving a busload of happy people to a nice location, maybe all the way the other side of Europe even, and then you just get to chill out while they go and look around Brighton or whatever the city is. There's a German one here, all the way from Germany there, of course. But yeah, and then you chill out, and then you just take them to the next place or take them back home. Probably a little bit more to it than that. And I think it's one of those jobs where when everything's going nicely, it's cool, but when things start going wrong, it must turn into a blimmin' nightmare very, very quickly. You know, if you get a couple of people who've gone missing or something, and they don't turn up at the allotted time. There's one from the Netherlands here, it's a blue and white one. Yeah, that's when it would get mega stressful, isn't it? If you've kind of lost a couple of passengers, if you've lost a couple of passengers, or you've got a passenger with a medical emergency or something, yeah, that's when it would turn into mega stress, isn't it? Anyway, this is Brighton Marina. I was hoping they were going to be finished with all this building stuff. It's a bit of a pain at the moment, but obviously it's still going on. God, it's the biggest hill I've had to do all day. Yeah, that ride up to now, the lovely thing about it is it's pretty much all on the flat. Right, so I've completed Durrington to Brighton cycle ride there. All I've got to do really is to get to my B&B for tonight and then to the station tomorrow, but I'll just do a little bit of footage there later on. But essentially the cycling is done, and here I am on the beach, which you can see behind me. I've actually just gone a little bit further than the kind of town centre in Brighton, you know, where the pier is. I've actually come all the way up to the Undercliffs walkway. But as far as today is concerned, apart from maybe just giving you a quick look around the little B&B I'm staying at tonight, that's just about it, really. So yeah, talk to you later. And this is my room here. Okay, well, welcome to the Paskins Hotel here in Camptown, Brighton. Just arrived here, I think it's about 3:30, 4 o'clock time, and yeah, I'll just show you around the room quickly, just to show you what you get. But I've been here quite a few times. I've been here with the rain quite a few times as well, and yeah, really like it here. And when it's available, I like to book a room here, so let's just show you. So this is it. It's only a small single room, as it's just me on my own here, so you've literally just got the bed, a little bit of a passageway, ensuite facilities here, which is obviously just going to be a shower and a loo and a sink. So yeah, that all looks very good, and yeah, all very yeah, pretty clean looking. And then if we just go around this way, yeah, at the end of the bed here you've got the TV and what have you. So I've got my overnight bag there that goes on the front of the Brompton, and the Brompton itself, just, even though it's a very small room, just pokes in this space that looks like it was made for it, nice and easily with the helmet. So good, these Bromptons. I mean, obviously a full-size bike, I'd have had to have locked it up somewhere outside, you know, wondering, oh, is it going to get nicked tonight and all of that. But with this, just put it in the room, it's there literally at the end of my bed, and I know it's going to be there in the morning. So you've got your obviously the usual tin coffee making facilities there, bottle of water. Oh, and some, look at that, some chocky bickies. What's that? Chocolate, 2 of them as well, 2 chocolate cookies. Oh yeah, that's going to be nice, that is. But I'm going to have some of that water in a minute, I think, and chill out, because the ride was quite something in the end.